Hello dear student, this is Dr. Agnes Kharat from MGV's Art, Science and Commerce College, Surgana. Welcome for today's session. Today we are going to learn about Kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista means phylum Protozoa. These organisms are commonly known as protozoans. Let us start today's topic. Protozoans are microscopic and acellular animals. They are without tissues and organs. Protozoans are first discovered by Anton von Leeuwenhoek in 1671. Von Siebold identified protozoans as single cellular organisms. Later on, Dobell named them as acellular or non-cellular organisms. The most important thing is the term protozoan is coined by Goldfuss. Scientist Goldfuss named these organisms as protozoans. The term protozoan, it has a Greek origin. Protos means first and zoon means animal. There are about 50,000 species which have been identified and named till now. So the phylum Protozoa, it includes free and parasitic forms of organisms. These protozoans are cosmopolitan in their distribution. That means they occur throughout the world. Now let's study silent features of phylum Protista. Protoplasmic grade of organization is the main characteristic of phylum Protista. Division of labor is seen among various cell organelles. Most of these organisms are solitary or free living. Solitary means they live alone. Example is Euglena and Amoeba. Some are colonial. That means they live in colony, in group. Some protozoans are commensal, symbiotic and parasitic. These organisms, they live in association with other organisms. The protozoans are small, microscopic, and their body consists of mass of protoplasm with one or more nuclei. So cytoplasm and germplasm are not differentiated in these protozoans. Their body is covered by proteinous covering or layer which is called as pellicule. Cell wall is absent in protozoans. Body shows two types of symmetry, radial or bilateral symmetry. But there are some forms of protozoans which are asymmetric. That means they do not show any symmetry. Locomotion in protozoan is brought about either by Pseudopodia or by Flagella or by Cilia. Locomotory organs are absent in parasitic forms of protozoans. As parasitic forms do not need locomotory organs, they are absent in these forms. Nutrition can be holozoic, that means like animals, holophytic like plant, or osmotrophic, that is saprophytic or parasitic. Digestion is intracellular. Some forms of protozoans, for example Euglena, they shows mixotrophic nutrition, that is they perform more than one type of nutrition. Respiration occurs by diffusion through general body surface. Respiration is anaerobic in some of the parasitic forms. Excretion occurs by diffusion across general body surface or by contractile vacuoles. Contractile vacuole serve mainly for osmoregulation and are common in freshwater forms. Reproduction is of asexual as well as sexual type. Asexual reproduction takes place by binary fission or multiple fission or plasmotomy or budding, and sexual reproduction takes place by syngamy or conjugation. Now what is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction where the reproduction takes place without fusion of gametes. And in sexual reproduction, fusion of cells takes place. Fusion of gametes takes place. So in asexual reproduction, we know about binary fission, multiple fission, budding. The new term for us is plasmotomy. What is plasmotomy? Plasmotomy, it is also a type of asexual reproduction in which parent organism divide into daughter organisms without the process of cell division, and this is called as the plasmotomy. Plasmotomy is seen in Plasmodium and Opalinum. Sexual reproduction, syngamy means union of gametes, and conjugation means here different mating types exchange nuclear material through a temporary area of fusion. Two organisms of different mating types exchange nuclear material through a temporary area of fusion. So these are the types of reproduction occurs in protozoans. The most important or peculiar characteristic of protozoan is encystment. This is the characteristic why it is called as the most important, because it helps these organisms during harsh environment, survive during harsh environment. During unfavorable condition, protozoans develop cysts around themselves, and because of this cyst they can survive during harsh environment, and when this conditions passed, when the favorable environmental condition returns, the cyst degenerate and animal start its life cycle once again. So this is encystment. These are the some representative forms of protozoans. On the basis of presence or absence of locomotor organelles, protozoans is divided into four classes. Rhizopoda, they shows locomotion with the help of pseudopodia represented by Entamoebahistolytica and Arcella. Mastigophora, they shows locomotion with the help of flagella and represented by Euglena and Trypanosoma. Ciliata, they show locomotion with the help of cilia and represented by Paramecium and Opalinaranarum. And a fourth class is Sporozoa, in which locomotory organelles are absent, as all the organisms included into the class Sporozoa, they are parasitic in nature, and they are represented by Plasmodium and Toxoplasma. So once again we'll see protozoa is divided into four classes on the basis of organ of locomotion present in them. Rhizopoda represented by amoeba, you can see the figure, Ciliata, Paramecium, Mastigophora, Euglena, Sporozoa, Plasmodium. Now one by one, let us study characteristics of all the four classes. First is class Rhizopoda. Majority of these organisms are free living, found in fresh water, seawater and in moist soil. Some forms are parasitic in nature. In most of the forms like amoeba, the body is naked, and in foraminiferans, the body is covered by a porous calcareous shell. Nucleus is single or several in animal. Mouth is absent in these organisms. They shows holozoid, that is animal-like nutrition. Locomotion takes place by the presence of temporary pseudopodium. Whenever animal wants to locomote, temporary pseudopodia they are formed, and after the purpose they are degenerated. Excretion occurs usually with the help of contractile vacuoles. Reproduction takes place by binary fusion, plasmotomy or budding. Sexual reproduction takes place by syngamy. Now here in the slide I have also shown you some of the representative forms of Rhizopoda. Amoeba, Entamoeba, Arcella, Polystomela. So these are the examples of class Rhizopoda. Let us study class Mastigophora. These animals also free living, solitary. They are found in freshwater, seawater, and in moist soil. Some forms they are also parasitic in class Mastigophora. Body shape is definite with the pellicule covering. Single nucleus is present in this organism. Mouth is absent. Nutrition can be holophytic, holozoic, saprophytic, or mixotrophic. Locomotion occurs with the help of whip-like undulating flagella. Excretion occurs by diffusion or by contractile vacuole. Reproduction, in case of asexual reproduction, it takes place by longitudinal binary fission, and in case of sexual reproduction, it takes place by syngamy. What are the representative forms or the examples of class Mastigophora? Noctiluca, Giardia, Euglena, Volvax. So these are the important examples of class Mastigophora. Always remember children, whenever you are writing characteristic of these organisms, just try to remember the examples of the organisms so that it will be easy for you to remember all the characteristic of the particular class or particular phylum. Examples are very important. Now class Ciliata. Majority of these organisms are free living. They are found in freshwater, seawater, and some are parasitic. They are naked and bound by firm pellicule externally. The body is covered by minute cilia. Two types of nucleus is present in class Ciliata: macronucleus and micronucleus. Micronucleus is comparatively smaller than the macronucleus. Macronucleus controls vegetative function and the micronucleus governs the sexual reproduction of the organism. Mouth and cytopage, they are present along with the oral apparatus. Cytopage means anal opening. Nutrition is like animal, so holozoic. Locomotion takes place with the help of numerous cilia. Excretion occurs usually with the help of contractile vacuole. This organism shows the characteristic of encystment. That is, during unfavorable conditions, protozoans develop cysts around themselves and they can survive during the harsh environment. Reproduction takes place by asexually and by sexually. Sexual reproduction occurs by transverse binary fission and budding, and sexual reproduction occurs by syngamy. Asexual by transverse binary fission and budding, and sexual by syngamy. What are the examples? Vorticella, Stentor, Paramecium, Opalium, Ballantidium. These are the examples of class Ciliata. And the last class is class Sporozoa. These are exclusively parasitic generated form or degenerated form of organisms. They have simple body form which is covered with thick cuticle or pellicule. Nucleus, they show single nucleus in their body. Mouth and cytopage, that is anal opening, they are absent. Nutrition is of saprozoic type, and sometimes they show animal kind of nutrition, that is holozoic. Locomotion occurs, locomotory organelles are absent in these organisms as they are parasitic in nature. Reproduction takes place by asexually by schizogony, that is by multiple fission, and sexual by syngamy. Life cycle shows alternation of generation with respect to the host. And what is alternation of generation? Alternation of generation means sexual phase and asexual phase in the life cycle of the organisms, they occur. That means alternately sexual and asexual phase, both the phase occurs in the life cycle of the organisms. And representative examples are Monocystis, Gregarina, and Plasmodium, Toxoplasma. Thank you, student. Thank you for your attention. I hope you understand the lecture. If you have any doubt, queries, you can contact me on my mail, and don't forget to refer my e-notes and be sure to solve the question bank. Best of luck, children. Study well. Thank you.